Hola everybody! Can you believe that it is June 28th of 2023? Holy cow! We are just about, it's moving on. Time is moving on. This is the Pele Report, Astrology for the Soul. Sun still in Cancer, coming into a beautiful trine to Saturn today, up there in Pisces. Moon has just gone into Scorpio. Okay, so we've got water everywhere. The sun is conjunct Mercury all week. It's exact on Friday. I'm going to read you the Sabian symbol for that because I think it's very powerful. Sun, Mercury, it has to do with everything. I'll get more into that. Just like to get these aspects over with because I know it bothers some people. But anyway, so many aspects. Venus moving through Leo is coming into a trine with Chiron tomorrow. Okay, still conjunct Mars. And then she squares Uranus on Sunday. Basically doing both of those things all week long. A healing of the heart, Venus, Chiron. Radically, unpredictably, suddenly. Yeah, I mean, maybe some healing crisis around love and money going on this week. But anyway, in addition to that, right, if that's not enough, Mercury is trine Saturn tomorrow, okay, and then keeps going on. And what else? Well, basically, and what I'm going to be reading the Sabian symbol for today is that the Sun-Mercury conjunction will also be in effect for the full moon. Right, moon moves through Scorpio for a couple of days, and then on Friday she goes up to Sagittarius, okay, and then on Sunday moves into Capricorn, and by Monday we have a full moon in Capricorn opposite the Sun, Mercury in Cancer, okay, at 11 degrees 19 minutes of Capricorn. So we have to check that out. Last but not least, behind, and under, the undercurrent of this whole time period is Neptune stationing to go retrograde up there in Pisces at that same degree. I think it's the 27 degrees or something of Pisces, just sitting there for a long time. Maybe I'll look at the ephemeris to tell you how long, but... So that's in the background, but let's really look at this full moon, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Uranus, all this other, so many things. I'm going to try to tie it all together for you when I look at the camera. Okay, well, if you don't know by now, I am super into the Sabian symbols, and I read one or two like every week, but this week I want to deal with 3 of them. But I don't want to be reading too much. I'm going to kind of consolidate a little bit, but one of them that I will not read is the 28th degree of Pisces. You may want to read it yourself. I know a lot of you may be also interested in the Sabian symbols. If you go to YouTube, I don't know where you're watching this Pele report, but if you go to YouTube and you go read more, underneath the video I have links, and I will put the link so that you can download your own free PDF file of the Sabian symbols. Yeah! Okay? So, that being said, Neptune is at this 28th degree since back in May, and will be there until August. So it's it's going way up to the late 2751 or something, and then stationing this week to go retrograde again, and then it's going to come back to this degree next year. So it's going to retrograde back to like 25 degrees, and then it's going to come forward again. So you may want to check that out. What I want to share with you today, and it's kind of tricky because this Sun Mercury, they're just traveling very close together, and coming into even Cassimi, right? Where they are like occult, right, on top of each other. Mercury Sun, my left brain, linear, logical, messenger of the gods, writing, speaking, talking, communicating, combust is what they call it when it's super conjunct the sun. And this week, that combustion can kind of bring so much power, so much light, so much energy that it can be maybe overwhelming. So our speech could be overwhelming. We could talk too much. We could, our ego or our personality, we can overwhelm others and be overwhelmed with all the news and media and information and emails and social media, all the things that we've got to do. Busy. And with the moon moving through Scorpio, Sagittarius into Capricorn, this, really brings in relationships with other people. So, it's got its pluses and its challenges. And that is why this week's mantra has to do with, it's so funny because I thought of left brain and right brain. But when I write out the mantra, this left and right can also be political these days. That was not my intention. I'm talking about left and right brain, but take it however you want it. But what we want to understand is that it's in the sign of Cancer. Water, feminine, intuition, feeling, emotions. So this is like, our brain is getting like triggered, okay, with, memories from the past and childhood and family and our own inner child, our own insecurities and fears, our need to be held and nurtured and protected and safe. So this is what some of these conversations are going to be about. And then we get the full moon, kaboomy, right? I mean, when I see moon opposite Mercury, in a natal chart or any chart, I often think of head versus heart or head versus gut. That there's an opposition, there's a tension between, what I think I should do and what I feel I should do. And this is going to be exasperated, okay, even more so by the sun, right? So it's not just moon opposite Mercury. It's moon opposite sun. So there is a tension in the opposition, but let's also realize that that tension can bring polarity, but through counterpoint awareness, through objectivity, through the opposition, we also gain consciousness. And we see things, we hear things, we learn things that otherwise we would not, somebody confronting us with our shadow, or, a fear that comes up for us that we bounce off of somebody else and, and gain. We gain a deeper understanding through the conversation. Ow! That's what this mantra is about. That's what this week is about. What are these conversations about? Like I said, safety, security, emotional, calm and stability, a sense of roots, but also the Venus square Uranus destabilizes, upsets, irritates, okay? Our Venus and Leo, conjunct Mars wants to play and have fun and romance and express itself and dance and sing and da-da-da. But with the square to Uranus, okay, that brings in, this need to really individuate. I need to do it my way. I need to be different. I'm an individual. And that may push other people's buttons. That may trigger insecurities in your family, Cancer, right? with your children, with your kids, Leo, 5th house energy. And also, of course, then with your partners, the moon going through Scorpio today, tomorrow, and Friday. Then it goes into Sagittarius, and then it's going to talk about the philosophy and the meaning and the purpose of life. And it's like, we're all different. In fact, that leads me right into one of the Sabian symbols that I wanted to read to you today. Yeah, because, you know, we are each one of us different. So I'm going to start out, okay, with the sun, right, is over here at, what did I say? 7 degrees or 11, 19. So it's the 12th degree of Cancer. Okay. And this is exactly full, what did I say, on Monday? No. Yeah. Monday. Full moon on Monday. It's exact on Monday, but this full moon, it's waxing and building and intensifying. Okay. So I want to just check it out. Because here is what I feel is the right brain. Okay, the right brain. A Chinese woman nursing a baby whose aura reveals him to be the reincarnation of a great teacher. The keynote is the revelation of latent worth in an experience once it is seen in its deeper meaning. Cancer, water, 4th house, deeper feeling, meaning, yeah? So, you know, this is just all about, we have a symbol which demands that we look beyond common appearances and try to discover the occult character of every person and every experience. There is no particular reference here to an avatar or messiah, except in the sense that every person is potentially the avatar or manifestation of a soul that has a definite and relatively unique function in the vast field of activity we call Earth. To discover this occult potential of being, one requires a deeper or higher vision, a holistic perception, which is usually called clairvoyance. The true clairvoyant perceives the essential meaning, message, or function of the whole. So you get this. This is where the sun is at the full moon. Okay, all day Monday, but feel it coming on through, you know, just kind of feel this energy of triggering and listening to your intuition, to your gut feelings of watery Cancer, and then contrast that with the moon, full in Capricorn. Objective, Earth, practical management, right? Check out the Sabian symbol for that. It is an illustrated lecture on natural science, reveals little known aspects of life. The ability to explore unfamiliar realms and discover the laws underlying the complex processes of nature. The emphasis here is on the acquisition of extensive knowledge, left brain, right? The satisfaction of intellectual curiosity. Nevertheless, there is also an aristocracy of science. This is the modern type. Capricorn, right? You know, patriarchy. Its use of acquired knowledge can pose as many problems as the use of hereditary aristocratic wealth. But it is our essential function to become fully conscious of all life forms and processes on this earth. Mankind is the conscious mind of the planet. Is this not tripped out? To have both of the Sabian symbols dealing with first the intuitive right brain, clairvoyance, and then the full moon in Capricorn having to do with the left brain science and intellectual curiosity. So there is a tension here between the left and the right, the feminine and the masculine, the imaginary and the practical. But, like I say, this opposition brings a potential for understanding and seeing and feeling, and thereby integrating all 7 chakras into an understanding of the hidden processes of life. And not only the hidden processes of life on planet Earth, but the hidden processes within your frickin' self. Is it easy? Is it fun? Is it comfortable? Not usually, not always. And here comes the third Sabian symbol. This is where Mercury comes in to conjunct the sun. Yeah? And okay, that actually happens on Friday before the full moon. So we've got this whole mercurial energy. Let's remember, Mercury was the only god that was allowed to descend into the underworld and return. Everything else, everybody else, all the souls, when you went down into Pluto, when you went down into the underworld, okay, you did not come back. Persephone is another exception. That's another myth that I don't want to get into today because there's only so much you can digest in one frickin' week of astrology. So, check this out. I mean, I just read it and I had to share it because it's very powerful. Yeah. It's the 10th degree of Cancer, and the Sun conjuncts Mercury right there. A large diamond in the first stages of the cutting process. The arduous training for perfection in order to fully manifest an ideal. We are dealing with the evolution of consciousness and of personality at a preliminary stage. Let's remember, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. These are the first 4, fire, earth, air, water. This is the preliminary stages of consciousness. Prior to Leo, the birth of self-consciousness, this is more instinctive consciousness, right? And especially Cancer, this feeling energy, okay? Very preliminary to the full-blown, okay, full moon in Capricorn consciousness, right? The potentiality of a completely formed mind through which the light of understanding will shine brightly is already in evidence. But much work is still to be done. We may meditate upon the transformation of the pond of water, it's the preceding Sabian symbol, into a diamond not yet completely cut. The conscious mind must acquire solidity so it can be worked upon by higher agencies. Ideally by the teachers of the community. It no doubt must be a painful operation for the rough stone. But the goal is worth the suffering. The heat, the grinding noise. Provided, of course, the diamond cutter is an expert craftsman. A rare case among teachers. Let's let the river be our teacher. Yeah? Let's let the trees be our teacher. Let's let Gaia be our teacher. Let's let the stars be our teachers. We don't have to limit ourselves to the human expression of egoic personality in order to have a teacher. Yeah? But it's just a little modification I want to throw on Dane Rudyard's interpretation, baby. Take the pressure off the teachers a little bit, man. Anyway, to wrap it all up, we just want to understand that this is a very powerful week. This is a very powerful full moon coming. I encourage you to feel your feelings, but also analyze, question. Like I say in this week's mantra, converse about this. Yes? I will not be polarized into love, hate, left, or right, but ask all the questions and have conversations that bring me into the light. The sun, our solar purpose. Each one of us has a unique, powerful, individual. We are each a unique manifestation of Source. We are the expanding universe as we create and express new forms, new creations out of our imaginations. So we want to step into that light of creation, Venus, Mars in Leo. And we want to break free and individualize. And maybe it rocks the boat. Maybe it shakes, maybe it's the hairdryer in the bathtub for other people. But let's also consider this full moon in Capricorn. What is Capricorn? The sign of the elder. And that elder is not concerned so much with its personal relationships, passionate connections, personal comfort. It's concerned with the next 7 generations, maybe the next 700 years. Even Leo wants to leave a legacy behind us. So this full moon, I think it affords us the opportunity to not get lost, or overwhelmed with our fears, our insecurities, our feelings, our doubts. We're going to fail. They're not going to love us. They're not going to clap. I'm never going to be safe and secure. We can be overwhelmed with all of this type of energy, happening very strongly at this time. But what we want to do is really use Mercury. Use that left brain, use that right brain, use that intuition, use logic, rational science and technology, and really investigate, discuss, converse with other people, bounce off. And truly, I think this is the way that you find your tribe. You find people who do understand. You do find people who support your individual expression. As lame, weird, eccentric, or bizarre as that may be. Oh God, man. I mean, I'm sure if you think of it, people would think Van Gogh or Picasso or Einstein or Newton or I mean, so many geniuses, make us scratch our heads. It's like, really? And the more you meet, these amazing artists and, painters and musicians and the spiritual yogis and yoginis and everything, it's just like, wow, they write this stuff or they channel this stuff or they speak this stuff or they create this beautiful stuff. And then you get to know them and their personality is like, whoa, really? Like, oh, you're also a person, are you? Oh my God. Anyway, I will leave you one more time with this week's mantra. Maybe write it down, repeat it over 1,000,000 times to yourself. What else did I want to say before I go? Us and them. Pink Floyd's Us and Them. With, without, in and out. After all, we're only ordinary men. So it's a great song. I may have posted it before because I really like Pink Floyd. But there it is again. I also posted a little thing for my workshop at the Rama Institute in Mallorca. After that, I'm heading over to Malaga. I'll post another. But really, check out my website page for different live events. I'm creating them and posting them more often because being in live conversation is so freaking far superior to WhatsApp and Gmail and Facebook and Instagram. It's not even comparable. Very difficult, all this media is so left brain Mercury. It's another thing we need to really balance out. And to use that right brain, the Chinese woman holds and looks at the baby. And there is, a psychic, clairvoyant, emotional, spiritual connection when you come into the physical presence of another star being. So try not to just seek out connection, through technology, but get the real flesh and blood thing happening as much as often, and talk about soul matters, talk about feelings, talk about heart matters, talk about, astrology. Yeah, baby. One more time. I will not be polarized into love, hate, left, or right, but ask all the questions and have conversations that bring me into the light. Speaking of the light, I got to get out of the sun, baby. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.